Hi, my name's Alicia, one of the mentors here at Evolution Business College, and I'll be conducting a webinar this morning on Assessment 3 and 4 for the unit Manage Quality Customer Service. Please bear with me while I share my screen and flick through some documents, but I hope you get the most out of this and you can go on and successfully complete this unit by yourself. Just going to share my screen with you and bring up a PowerPoint session. Okay, so like I said, welcome to the unit Manage Quality Customer Service, going over the assessments 3 and 4. Hopefully you've gotten through assessment 1 and 2 already by using the other webinar that I've developed, and you're very close to finishing this unit, which is exciting. So today's purpose is to ensure that you get the most out of this webinar to be able to go on and complete the assessments 3 and 4 on your own. If in doubt or you do need more assistance, please reach out to myself or one of the other mentors to assist you with further putting these assessments together. So how will this session run? I'm just going to be going through the assessment with you. I'm going to go through all of the questions and give you advice on how to answer them all. So hopefully you can walk away and make for an easy submission. So how can you get the most out of this webinar? Make sure you have pen and paper or some sort of writing material available in order for you to take down notes as I am explaining each of the questions. It's also handy to have your assessment open as well so you can follow along with me and know where I'm at with each of the assessments. So what happens after this webinar? You go away, take all of the notes that you've compiled from this webinar and move forward and complete your assessments, and just simply upload them to the LMS, and one of us mentors will get on to marking them for you ASAP. So let's get started. I'm just going to exit out of this PowerPoint and jump into our LMS. So when you go into your LMS, you're looking for the unit Manage Quality Customer Service. We're going to kick things off with assessment 3. So come down, click on assessment 3. Okay. Alrighty, so assessment task 3 is all about putting together a complaints procedure for Try Fitness. So we're using the same scenario from assessments 1 and 2. You're working on Try Fitness, this I guess gym outlet, and they need some assistance in their customer service areas of opportunity. So this assessment's about putting together a customer complaints procedure, and we've got a scenario for us to have a look at there. So the COO, Chief Operations Officer of Try Fitness, has shared with you the key objectives for the coming year, which are to standardise operational procedures nationally to ensure that each branch operates in a manner that provides both customers and employees with a consistent and positive experience. Also to build and strengthen Try Fitness teams across operations at a national level so that the knowledge is developed and shared across counterparts in each state. So as you have rolled out a customer service plan, it has become apparent that each Try Fitness state branch has a very different way of managing any of their customer complaints. This creates opportunity for you to help the company achieve standardized procedure in this area. So the requirements of this assessment: you need to use the Try Fitness procedure template to create a procedure for the management of customer complaints in the future. Your procedure should contain information on relevant legislation for staff to address. You need to contain privacy laws in relation to record keeping and storage of member complaints, Australian consumer laws as relates to the supply of services, any discrimination legislation to relation to members from a range of ethnic backgrounds, OH&S responsibilities of Try Fitness for staff dealing with customer complaints, escalation of complaints when they are unable to be managed by customer contact staff, and reporting of suggestions for improvements for the services due to the complaint. So those steps you want to compile within your procedure. Okay, each of your steps need to be able to touch on some relevance to those dot points there. So as the assessment tasks has identified, we need to download the procedure template that's going to help us complete this assessment. So procedure template for assessment task 3, we need to download this one, and it's essentially a template that you just need to fill out. So the front page here, procedure template, I want you to turn that into your own title page for this complaints procedure. Come down to the table of contents. Leave the table of contents as is, okay? Because you're going to be having all of those components within your procedure. You'll just need to adjust the page numbers as relevant to your procedure. So come down to the purpose of this procedure. So the purpose of this procedure is what we've been told in the assessment is we need to standardise a procedure in order for all staff members to handle customer complaints in a uniform approach across all branches of Tri-Fitness. Okay, so that's all you need to state there. Something along the lines that the purpose of this procedure is to make sure that all staff members within the Tri-Fitness company handle complaints in the same way and the same manner, same approach across all states and branches of Tri-Fitness. Okay, that's essentially the purpose of our procedure. The scope of the procedure is talking about who this procedure is applicable to, okay? So you make your decision. The procedure is applicable to all Tri-Fitness staff members, or is it all customer service staff members of Tri-Fitness? It would be applicable to the members as well of Tri-Fitness because they would be involved in putting forward complaints. So you just need to jot down there who this procedure is applicable to. Flowchart. If you know what a flowchart looks like, it would be of good use for you to insert a flowchart into this procedure. It will give a really nice snapshot and a visual opportunity for anyone to pick up this procedure and know exactly how a complaints procedure looks. Okay, so a flowchart will have each step with arrows between each of the steps and a really quick abbreviation as to each of those steps. You don't need to go into any amount of detail in the flowchart. You would just simply state receive complaint, investigate complaint, report on complaint, etc. as per your steps of your complaints procedure. So the actions that you need to take, you need to state here within your complaints procedure. Do some research, use the information on your LMS in order to put together some actions in terms of handling a complaint. This procedure template only gives you 4 steps to work with. I would encourage you to do more than 4 steps. I think there's more than 4 steps needed in handling a complaint because we're talking about the very first step of actually receiving the complaint off the member right through to having them complete a complaints procedure form, a complaints form, having the staff members capture as much detail and information from that customer, then moving forward and investigating the complaint, then getting back to the customer with the action or the outcome from that complaint that they've put forward, then moving on and reporting that complaint and the action and outcome to your manager, and then also filing away the complaints form. Okay, so there are some more steps than just 4 steps to a complaints procedure, so I would encourage you to add more. With your references, you need to list some legislation, regulations and acts that you would think would be applicable to this complaints procedure. You need to try and tie in one of those legislations and acts to each of your steps. Okay, and what I mean by that is you might want to reference an Information Privacy Act 2000, okay? So the way I could tie that act into one of the steps would be to you know, step 1, receive complaints form from customer, okay, completed in full detail. You could say this step aligns with the Information Privacy Act 2000 in that all complaints received with member details on them are kept private and confidential, you know, in a secure location, okay? A couple of acts and legislations that you can use for this procedure would be the Fitness Industry Code of Practice. You could use the Information Privacy Act 2000. You could use an Equal Opportunity Act 2000. You could use the anti-discrimination legislation. So have a look out there and see if there's any other acts or legislations that would be applicable to this procedure. Moving now on to the resources. This is where you need to list any resources applicable to this procedure. So if you, you know, used a website to assist you with putting together this complaints procedure, please put that in there. I would also list the complaints procedure form as well that, I'm sorry, the complaints form that a member would need to fill out, okay? So hopefully that gives you a good understanding of how to move forward and put together your complaints procedure. We'll now move on to assessment 4. So come back to your LMS and download assessment task 4 for me. Now, assessment task 4. The scenario here is that the Tri-Fitness Victorian State Manager has advised you he has observed the administration officer has not been following newly released customer complaint management procedure. He had had a few conversations with her and she said that calls she takes are mainly to complain about equipment needing to repair or changes to the exercise class roster, none of which impact the member returning to the business, so she doesn't see the need to report these. The procedure is very clear that all complaints are to be recorded in order to create a report that demonstrates exactly what it is important to the Tri-Fitness members. The COO has asked you to collate the first report for complaints data in 4 weeks so that they can be presented to the executive team. So your requirements, you need to use the Tri-Fitness email template to create an email to the Fitness Administration Officer to explain the purpose of the new procedure, why is it important to be followed, seeking any feedback or assistance required to follow the procedure, and advise how you will be monitoring the implementation of the procedure over the next 4 weeks. Okay? So you'll find the email template in your resources again here. And like the assessment states, you'll be addressing this to the administration officer. You'd have your subject being the complaints procedure. You would want to start your email off by, you know, hi there, hope this email finds you well. I am just writing you today to again, you know, I guess confirm the importance or reiterate the importance of the complaints procedure that I've recently put together. Then move into the fact that you need to highlight the purpose of this new procedure. You can take that from the procedure that you've already put together and paste that into this email. You then want to talk about why it's so important for this procedure to be followed. Okay, so it's all about creating that uniform approach across all branches, that all members across Australia receive the same service if they were putting it together in a complaint, and how important that is to the Tri-Fitness business. You would want to seek some feedback from the procedure. So ask how they found the procedure. If they want to chat to you in person, you can make an arrangement with them to discuss the procedure in more detail if they're having trouble understanding any of the steps. And you also want to talk to them how you're monitoring the implementation of this new procedure over the next 4 weeks, and that you want to see if complaints are either being reduced or the follow-up of them is there's a faster approach, or you've just got more satisfied members because complaints are being addressed appropriately now. Okay, sign off by yourself, and always have that open door policy that if they do want to speak to you about the matter further, then you're more than welcome to arrange an appointment. Okay. So coming back to our PowerPoint presentation, we've gone through the assessments. Where to now? So if you need to get in touch with myself or one of the other mentors, we've got our team phone number there on 1300 050589, or email us at thestudent_support@fceducationgroup.com. I hope this webinar was helpful and that you're able to get through assessment task 3 and 4, manage quality customer service, no dramas. We're looking forward to you submitting, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you. Bye.